Speaker, sir. Rest to update this August House on the government's ongoing effort to improve the ease of doing business in Fiji. There is an agenda that is fundamental to accelerating investment, driving growth, creating jobs, and modernizing the way government services our businesses and citizens. Today's statement highlights not only the major reforms that are already transforming our business landscape, but also deliberate systems, coordination, and institutional changes that have made those reforms work. And importantly, I will outline the next phase of reforms, including our engagement with IFC in delivering the Be Ready assessment and the establishment of pillar-based working groups to ensure Fiji moves decisively and simultaneously across every area that matters to investors. Mr. Speaker, sir, improving the ease of doing business is not merely about being competitive in global rankings. It is about giving our people the opportunity to participate in economic activity without having to navigate unnecessary barriers. It is about giving entrepreneurs confidence that their government is a partner in the success and not an obstacle. It is about ensuring development happens faster, fairer, and more transparently. Mr. Speaker, sir, at the center of our reforms is Business Now Fiji, the government's flagship ease of doing business program. Built on the Fiji Integrated Licenses and Permits Approval System, also known as FieldPass. The Business Now Fiji connects multiple government agencies into one digital ecosystem so that businesses and investors can deal with the government through a single, modern, transparent interface. The whole of government platform is a key commitment in our National Development Plan and Digital Fiji initiative. It moves Fiji away from fragmented, paper-based processes towards a unified, one country, one system model for business service. Mr. Speaker, sir, the starting a business subsystem, or SUBS, is the first major digital reform under Business Now Fiji and has modernized business registrations in Fiji. Previously, entrepreneurs faced a lengthy, multi-step manual processes involving multiple offices. It was slow, inconvenient, and costly. SUBS now connects 8 government agencies in one digital platform, removing duplication and enabling seamless information sharing. Mr. Speaker, sir, the results are clear: faster processing, fewer errors, and improved customer satisfaction. SUBS also provides transparent, measurable performance through service-level agreements and real-time data that pinpoint delays. These capabilities were not possible under the old paper system. Most importantly, SUBS has facilitated and expanded access. Entrepreneurs across Fiji, including rural and maritime communities, can now register a business online without travel or extra cost. Since launch, SUBS has received over 60,600 e-service applications, with more than 6,000 successfully processed. Mr. Speaker, sir, the second cornerstone of ease of our doing business is the Building Permits Approval System, or BPAS. This is one of government's most complex reforms, as construction approvals involve many agencies, councils, inspectors, utilities, regulators, and professionals. Currently, construction permits in Fiji takes 160 to 170 days on average, creating a major barrier to investment and economic activity. BPAS will introduce a unified, end-to-end online system with real-time tracking, digital plan submission, simultaneous reviews, and clear service timeline for every agency. Mr. Speaker, sir, demand for building approvals continues to rise. As noted earlier, from January to November, the Ministry of Local Government received over 2,186 building permit applications nationwide, representing 1.16 billion in planned projects. So this is a significant volume of development covering homes, offices, factories, and hotels. Importantly, about 25% of these applications were from commercial, industrial, and tourism projects. Those are essential for economic diversification and post-pandemic recovery. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is important to highlight that crucial regulatory reforms have been undertaken to advance this digital transformation. Some of the significant reforms are standardize the inspection fees based on building size, permit fees based on development size, not project value, mandatory qualified persons endorsements, ensuring that architectural and engineering plans submitted to councils meet technical standards before review, legal acceptance of electronic signatures, digital plans, and system-generated certificates. And the other advantage is the unified forms and standard operating procedures across all municipal councils. Mr. Speaker, sir, with those reforms in place, our target is clear. Reduce approval times to under 100 days and for straightforward applications. Mr. Speaker, sir, the success of SABS and BPAS was intentional. It came from strong coordination, discipline, and ownership across the civil service. Mr. Speaker, sir, the key enablers were a results-driven project team, a strong interagency coordination, technical working groups. We have changed champions within, national-wide capacity building as well have been undertaken. So this mechanism, Mr. Speaker, sir, now recognizes some of the government's most effective coordination structure and will support the next phase of ease of doing business reforms. Mr. Speaker, sir, Fiji reforms agenda goes beyond SABS and BPAS. There is an impending Be Ready assessment, and the World Bank's new global benchmarking tool will be put into place to replace the Doing Business Index. It reviews key areas such as business entry, construction permit, tax administration, trade, labor regulation, and utility connections. Mr. Speaker, sir, the IFC is our technical partner, helping ensure Fiji's reforms aligns with global best practice and are implemented with rigor and credibility. Mr. Speaker, sir, we also have the Investment Facilitation Committee, a cabinet-mandated ministerial-level body that identifies bottlenecks in Fiji's investment climate and recommends solutions. We intend for this committee to oversee the Be Ready working group to ensure technical efforts are supported by strong political leadership and clear direction. Mr. Speaker, sir, this approach unites all agencies under one coordinated agenda, speeds up decision-making, and assures investors that reforms are driven at the highest level of government. Mr. Speaker, sir, working groups for the Be Ready pillars is intended to be created under the committee, allowing Fiji to progress across all areas simultaneously rather than sequentially. This ensures balanced and faster reform. These groups will include key ministries and agencies supported by IFC specialists. They will be tasked to identify gaps, propose solutions, simplify regulations, and prepare an action plan to position Fiji favorably and progressively. Mr. Speaker, sir, we recognize the work ahead. The Be Ready assessment will provide a clear 5-year roadmap, and the government is committed to acting decisively on its findings. Mr. Speaker, sir, these reforms are not simply administrative improvements. They have real and measurable impacts on our citizens and economy. They are not abstract beliefs. They make a practical difference to the everyday life of our people. Mr. Speaker, sir, as we move forward, we recognize that Fiji must benchmark against global leaders, countries like Singapore, Estonia, Mauritius, and New Zealand, who have shown that good regulatory design, clear timeliness, and digital systems can dramatically accelerate economic growth. Mr. Speaker, sir, with BPAS and SABS and the broader Business Now Fiji program, Fiji is already punching above its weight. It is important to acknowledge that some large economies do not have an integrated system like ours. With the right policy discipline, we can position Fiji as a leader in the Pacific for digital government and investment facilitation. Mr. Speaker, sir, with all this information, effort and foresight now before us, it is clear that our reforms cannot remain merely aspirational. They must be embedded into the day-to-day priorities of our ministries and agencies. If Fiji is to stand shoulder to shoulder with global leaders, we must ensure that these systems, timeliness, and reforms are not treated as side projects, but as core components of our ministries and agencies. In light of this, Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to highlight several key recommendations for the government's continuous reform work. Number one is to integrate service level agreement into permanent secretaries' KPIs. This is to ensure accountability as well as including SLAs on our digital system, driving consistent agency performance, and reinforcing a culture of timely service delivery. Number two is we make all future legislative amendments digital by default. That is, new laws, regulations, and policy frameworks should be designed with digital processes in mind from the outset. This ensures modern service delivery, reduce recurrent amendments, and allows faster digital transition. The third is to expand interagency data sharing. Mr. Speaker, sir, businesses should not have to submit the same information to multiple agencies. Strengthening data sharing will speed up approvals, reduce errors, and simplify compliance obligations. We as the government should work towards a vision of once only principle. The fourth, Mr. Speaker, sir, is embed digital-ready processes. Agencies should redesign manual processes so they are streamlined and digital-ready, regardless of when they will be digitalized. Designing with digitalization in mind makes future transition faster, cheaper, and smoother. A digital-ready mindset also ensures that even while some services remain manual, businesses experience more efficient, predictable, and transparent interactions with government. The fifth, Mr. Speaker, sir, is to promote mutual recognitions with safeguards. Agencies should avoid duplication checks for information already verified by a competent authority. Government processes must be collaborative with MOUs, data sharing agreements, and accountability frameworks should be used to build trust and reduce repetition. This should, however, be applied with appropriate caution and risk assessment. So those are some of the recommendations, Mr. Speaker, sir. We all acknowledge that there is much more could be done. The progress we have made in improving Fiji's ease of doing business is a testament to what can be achieved when the government works together with purpose and discipline. SABs and BPAS are not just ICT projects, they are symbols of a new way of working, one that values transparency, speed, fairness, and service excellence. Mr. Speaker, sir, I call on honourable members to support the enabling laws and resources required for the next phase of reforms. I call on public servants to embrace the system, uphold timeliness, and be champions of service delivery. I call on the private sector to make full use of these platforms and continue providing feedback. And I call on all Fijians to embrace digital services and be part of this national transformation. Let us continue this work with determination, unity, and vision. Together we can create a Fiji where opportunity flows more freely, where investment thrives, and where every citizen has a fair chance to succeed. Nagwaglebu, and God bless Fiji. Naka.